What does the life of a former president of the United States really look like after leaving the White House? Private jets, multi-million-dollar homes, global influence, and a fortune built through decades of politics, speeches, and powerful connections. Today, we're taking a deep dive into the fascinating lifestyle of Bill Clinton, from humble beginnings in a small American town to becoming one of the most powerful political figures in modern history, and eventually building a multi-million-dollar empire after his presidency. But how did Bill Clinton rise from a modest childhood to global fame, wealth, and influence? And what does his life really look like today? Let's explore the story behind the fortune, lifestyle, and legacy of one of America's most recognizable leaders. Bill Clinton was born on August 19th, 1946, in Hope. His birth name was William Jefferson Blythe III. But life for the young boy was far from easy. His father passed away before he was even born, leaving his mother to raise him during difficult times. Growing up in the small town of Hope, Clinton experienced a modest upbringing. Money wasn't abundant, but education and ambition were always encouraged. From a very young age, Bill Clinton showed remarkable intelligence and curiosity. He loved learning, he loved reading, and most importantly, he developed a strong interest in leadership and public service. One moment in his youth would become legendary. As a teenager, Bill Clinton met John F. Kennedy at the White House during a youth leadership event. That brief meeting inspired him deeply. Standing there, shaking hands with the President of the United States, Clinton realized something powerful. One day, he wanted to lead the country himself, and from that moment on, his life took a clear direction. Determined to achieve his goals, Clinton worked hard academically. He eventually attended Georgetown University, where he studied international affairs. But his ambition didn't stop there. Clinton continued his education at Yale Law School, one of the most prestigious institutions in the world. It was here that he met someone who would become a major part of his life and political journey, his future wife, Hillary Clinton. Together, the two would eventually become one of the most powerful political couples in American history. But before the fame, before the presidency, and before the fortune, Bill Clinton had to prove himself in the world of politics, and his rise would soon capture the attention of the entire nation. After graduating from Yale Law School, Bill Clinton returned to his home state of Arkansas with one clear goal. He wanted to change the future of his state, and eventually the future of the entire nation. Clinton began his career teaching law at the University of Arkansas, but politics soon pulled him into a much larger arena. At only 32 years old, Clinton achieved something remarkable. He became the governor of Arkansas, making him one of the youngest governors in American history. This moment marked the beginning of his rise to national power. As governor, Clinton focused on improving education, modernizing infrastructure, and strengthening Arkansas's economy. His leadership style was energetic, charismatic, and deeply connected to the people he served. And slowly, the entire country began noticing the young politician from a small town in Arkansas. By the early 1990s, Bill Clinton had bigger ambitions. America was entering a new political era, and the nation was searching for fresh leadership. In 1992, Clinton announced his campaign for President of the United States. His message focused on economic growth, opportunity, and a new vision for the future, and his charisma quickly captured the attention of millions of voters. Despite facing tough competition and intense media scrutiny, Clinton continued gaining support across the country. Eventually, his campaign achieved a historic victory. Bill Clinton was elected the 42nd President of the United States. And just like that, the young boy from Hope had achieved the dream he once imagined as a teenager. He moved into the most famous residence in the world, the White House. Life inside the White House is unlike anything most people can imagine. The President of the United States lives under constant global attention. Every decision, every speech, every policy affects millions of lives. During his presidency, Clinton oversaw a period of strong economic growth in the United States. Millions of jobs were created. The national economy expanded rapidly, and the country experienced one of the longest economic booms in modern history. But being president also brings enormous pressure, political challenges, public controversies, and constant scrutiny from the media. Yet through it all, Bill Clinton remained one of the most influential political figures of his time. By the end of his presidency, he had become a global name recognized around the world. But leaving the White House did not mean leaving success behind. In fact, a new chapter of wealth, luxury, and influence was about to begin. Because after his presidency, Bill Clinton would build something even bigger, a multi-million-dollar empire. When Bill Clinton left the White House, many people wondered what his life would look like next. Would he step away from the spotlight? Would he retire quietly? The answer was very different. Instead of slowing down, Clinton entered one of the most financially successful periods of his life. Through global speaking engagements, book deals, and international influence, he built an impressive fortune. And with that success came a lifestyle filled with luxury, travel, and multi-million-dollar properties. One of the most well-known homes owned by Bill Clinton and his wife Hillary Clinton is located in Chappaqua. This elegant residence became the couple's primary home after leaving Washington. The property reportedly cost around $1.7 million when they purchased it in 1999. But today, the value of the home has increased significantly due to its location and historical importance. The house features spacious rooms, beautiful gardens, and a peaceful suburban environment, far away from the intense political life of Washington, D.C. For Bill Clinton, this residence represents something rare in the life of a global political figure: privacy. But the Clinton lifestyle is not limited to one home. Over the years, Bill Clinton has stayed in some of the most luxurious locations around the world, from high-end hotels to private estates during global speaking tours. Former presidents often receive invitations to speak at international conferences, universities, and business events. And these appearances can be extremely profitable. In fact, Bill Clinton has reportedly earned millions of dollars from speaking engagements alone. His speeches have been delivered across Europe, Asia, and the Middle East, making him one of the most requested political speakers in the world. Private jets, luxury hotels, international travel. For many former presidents, life after politics can be just as busy as a life inside the White House. And Clinton's schedule has often reflected that reality. Although Bill Clinton is not known for showing off expensive sports cars like many celebrities, he has still enjoyed the privileges that come with wealth and influence. Security vehicles, luxury transportation, and comfortable travel arrangements have been a normal part of his life for decades. Former presidents also receive lifelong protection from the United States Secret Service, which means secure transportation, and security teams accompany them wherever they go. This unique level of protection is something very few people in the world experience. It reflects the enormous importance and influence of the office he once held. But beyond homes, travel, and security, the real question many people ask is this: how much money has Bill Clinton actually earned over the years? The answer reveals just how powerful his financial empire has become. So, just how wealthy is Bill Clinton today? After decades in politics, global speaking engagements, and best-selling books, Clinton has built a financial empire that many former world leaders never achieve. As of 2026, Bill Clinton's estimated net worth is believed to be around $120 million. And much of this wealth was actually earned after leaving the White House. One of the biggest sources of income has been international speaking engagements. Since the end of his presidency, Clinton has traveled around the world delivering speeches at universities, business conferences, and global events. Some of these speeches have reportedly earned hundreds of thousands of dollars for a single appearance. This has made him one of the most successful former presidents in terms of personal earnings. Another major part of Clinton's fortune comes from best-selling books. His memoir, My Life, became a massive success, selling millions of copies worldwide. The book offered readers an inside look at his childhood, his political journey, and his years in the White House. Publishers reportedly paid huge advances for his books because of his global reputation. And the success of these publications added millions more to his fortune. Together with his wife, Hillary Clinton, the Clintons have become one of the most financially successful political couples in American history. But Bill Clinton's influence goes far beyond money. Through the Clinton Foundation, he has worked on international humanitarian efforts focused on health, education, and climate initiatives. The foundation has supported projects around the world, helping millions of people through global partnerships and charitable programs. For Clinton, legacy is not just about wealth or political achievements. It's about impact, the ability to influence the world long after leaving office. From a modest childhood in hope to becoming the 42nd President of the United States, and eventually building a multi-million-dollar empire after leaving office. The story of Bill Clinton is one of ambition, power, controversy, and extraordinary success. His journey proves that leadership can shape not only a nation, but also a legacy that lasts for generations. From global politics to luxury living, Bill Clinton remains one of the most recognizable and influential figures of modern history, and his story continues to fascinate millions around the world.